got to peel that onion. And every onion's going to have a couple of pieces that aren't very good.
An outbreak of violence in Sinaloa, Mexico, after the arrest of a suspected cartel leader may raise concerns for Canadians traveling to the area. But that doesn't necessarily mean the situation has changed for tourists. Lance Viant was born and raised in Mazatlan. He spent some time in the United States before moving back to Mexico with his family. He has worked in the tourism industry in Mazatlan, which is in Sinaloa.
To my experience, and I've worked again in a leadership position in tourism since 2010, so that's 13, 14 years. I've never had to interact with any kind of strong arming or any kind of situation where my kids were in danger.
Joe Pavelka is a professor at Mount Royal University in Calgary. He is a lead on assessing travel risk at the university.
I think right now the the conflict that we're seeing is really quite focused, right? It is the narcos going up against the government. The problem with that, and they don't really care about tourists in any which way. The problem with that is obviously being in the wrong place in the wrong time.
Joe Pavelka says if you find yourself in a dangerous situation while traveling, try and align yourself with locals. In his experience, they have always been gracious and helpful.
You have to follow directions. When it gets to be this level, you really don't have a lot of options. You have to follow instructions. So if they tell you to shelter in place, whether you think it's a good idea or not, you really need to do that, because if you fall outside of that parameter, you're not protected.
Lance Viant thinks that despite issues in Sinaloa State, Mazatlan is going to survive with 500 years of history and a lot to offer.
But here in Mazatlan, really, the mayor came out early, said, guys, there's something going on in Culiacan. Please stay indoors for safety reasons. We're going to stop public transport because that's what they're attacking. We're going to defend the entrances and exits to the city in case they want to come in or somebody wants to get out. And we're going to send people to police the airports because we have tourists.
In Calgary, Danina Falkenberg, City News.